Tom Homan, White House border czar, has been watching all of this very closely, and he's here with us now. Tom, the language to me that they're using is very clear. It's beyond resist. It's beyond First Amendment protected speech. That's all fine. This is actively impeding and threatening law enforcement agents. They're not the only ones who have guns and all that language.
Well, look, I've never seen anything like this. I started back in 1984. I've been doing this a long time. And look, you know, that's why we're working very closely with the Department of Justice. We have increased prosecutions for impediment tenfold. I looked at the numbers the other day. We got the highest number of prosecutions for interference and impediment than I've ever seen. Attacks on ICE officers, as you know, it's up over 1,000%. And this rhetoric is just, if this rhetoric doesn't stop, I said this back in March when the rhetoric was rising. I said, if this rhetoric doesn't slow down, someone's going to die. And the left went crazy that I would say something like that. Well, they have. Unfortunately, I was right. We had a shooter die attacking the Border Patrol facility. We had an officer shot when people attacked an ICE detention facility. We had a sniper attack a Dallas facility and killed a couple of detainees. We've had several shootings in the last week. And it's not going to stop unless the rhetoric goes away. So when the congressman says he's going to prosecute people and hold people accountable, hold them accountable for what? For enforcing the laws that you enacted? If Congress, if ICE are racist and terrorists for enforcing the law, what's that make them? They wrote the law. We're doing exactly what Congress wrote with the laws they enacted that was signed by the president and that were appropriated with funding to do. ICE is doing their job, and they're not going to stop doing their job.
Yeah, and Tom, every individual that was arrested in Chinatown and in New York yesterday, each and every one of them was a deportable alien. They had most of them had multiple criminal prosecutions. It wasn't just counterfeit goods. Sometimes it was assault. It was leaving the scene of a crime. I mean, we went on and on and on. Well, we didn't go through each of them because it'd be here all night. But every single person had committed other crimes and was an illegal alien living in the United States. But none of that matters. If Americans have to suffer for their open borders nirvana, they believe Americans have to suffer. And I really think it's because they think Americans need to be punished.
Well, look, intellectual property theft is something ICE has been working with for decades. These fake goods are selling. It hurts an American employer, American manufacturers, and American employees. So we're going to force the laws. But you're right. They all had some sort of criminal history. And let's be truthful and get the facts straight, because the left is lying about this. I look at the data every morning on the way to work. 22 pages of data. Approximately 70% of everybody ICE arrests is a criminal. Bottom line, data shows it. Who are the other 30%? National security threats. Most national security threats don't have criminal history because they're laying low to do the dirty deed. And fugitives, those who had due process at great taxpayer expense and were ordered removed by a federal judge but didn't leave and become a fugitive. We're looking for them too. Because the message we're not going to send to the whole world, enter the country illegally, it's a crime, don't worry about it. Have due process, get order removed by a judge, don't worry about it. No, we're sending a message to the whole world. There are consequences.
Tom, there's also now, they've launched something called an anti-ICE tracker. Have you seen that too? That's a new thing, apparently. We'll put it up on the screen. But this is apparently another tool they're going to use to try to thwart ICE. An anti-ICE tracker that's going to be, I guess, an app that you can download, and you can use that in order to get involved in these radical resistance movements. At some point, doesn't the DOJ have to step in? I mean, isn't this one big RICO action in some way, shape, or form? Seems like it to me.
Laura, they're all over this. They're all over this. Now they're looking at, impediment charges, looking at who's funding this stuff, right? Because I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. And I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it because I truly believe it's a matter of time before an ICE agent's ambushed and killed. Because we're letting people know where enforcement activities are occurring. And they're looking for the worst of the worst. The last thing we want to do is give a bad guy, the worst of the worst, a heads up that ICE is down the street. This is going to get an officer killed. I go to bed every night And I pray for every man and woman of ICE and Border Patrol to go home safe to their families. I buried too many ICE agents in my career and Border Patrol agents. This has to stop. So Pam Bonnie's all over us. I know DOJ's all over this. We'll hold people accountable. This cannot happen. It's disgusting. I can't believe what's going on in this nation today. I wake up every morning in disbelief that people want to call the law enforcement officers the bad guys and the criminal public safety threats the victims. It's ridiculous. It's all upside down. But we're going to keep doing this job and keep President Trump's promise to American people to make this country safe again.
They're punishing Americans and protecting criminals. They should put that on a bumper sticker. Tom, as always, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.